What's up, you guys? It's Zamara, and today I bring you a pretty cool and popular and old topic, but I realized I've never talked about this before with anyone. So here I go, and this is: do I believe in love at first sight? My answer is going to be very simple, or better say, I could make it very simple, and it would be no, because I have never experienced it. However, upon giving it some thought, I concluded that it's a yes and no answer. And it's because I'm one of those people who's really open to possibilities. And then some people in life have claimed that this has happened to them. So why would I try to invalidate what for them is a fact? You know? Of course, there are some matters in which it's obvious that two people really aren't in love with each other and they're just in a stage of infatuation, but that's beside the point. Like, what makes me also say yes but no, yes and no, is that I have met people who, when I first met them, I disliked them. And it took me interacting with them and just coexisting with them for a little bit to realize, hey, this person is not bad at all, or is not as bad as I thought. There's some stuff that I just disagree with them, but it doesn't mean that they aren't good people. And some of those folks I have learned to love, not romantically, but that I just have a great appreciation for them in my life presently. And I could give numerous examples, but I'm not going to because that's not really the topic. But I guess I can make a separate video on that. Also, you may love someone at first sight, but once you get to know them, you end up disliking them. And this has happened to me personally. It's like I make an observation and I'm like, wow, this dude is cool, this dude is awesome. But then when I get to talking to him and listening to him and the manifestation of his thoughts, I'm like, I'm not sure I can handle you, and I'm not sure that your personality is really all that healthy and good for me. And there are some differences that you simply cannot cope with, and then this person had that going on, and I could just see disaster coming. So before disaster takes place, I prevent it. And really haven't heard from him in a long time, but I wonder what he's up to. Also, let's see. This is also one of those topics in which I had to write it down because I didn't want to miss anything. Additionally, as a responsible person, you'll behave rationally as you can, as rationally as you can. You get to know the person, and you get to know the person by investing the proper amount of time and then making your decision of assertions. And that's very easy. It's like you cannot simply be like, it's like movies. You cannot watch the trailer and be like, oh yeah, this is going to be my favorite movie. Because then when you get to the movie, you realize, oh, it was lacking this, it was lacking that. Like me and Finding Dory. When I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh, this movie is great, and I'm going to be really excited and very nostalgic. I did experience all of that, but they did not feature characters that I was expecting, and among those are the crew from the fish tank at the dentist's office. When the first movie ended, when Finding Nemo ended, they were just there at the bay, floating on bags. What happened to them? Did they make it? Or what happened to them? So we need a third movie because those characters were important for the plot of the first movie. So why wouldn't we hear from them again? Especially when their conclusion was not definite. At least for me, it wasn't definite. And then with a prolonged observation of someone, they may or may not be pleasing. Same thing with you see someone, you get to talking to them and you realize that you really don't like them. But it's important to emphasize that from every angle that I can think of, because this is stuff that people seem to breeze through and not consider, and that's chaos. Also, some claim to have met their soulmate to their first sight, but most of us don't. Like I said, I have never experienced love at first sight. So it's hard for me to believe that this happens, but I'm not saying that it hasn't happened to some people. And then on the note of soulmates, I do believe in them, but same thing. I haven't met what people define as a soulmate yet. So it's like I haven't met a soulmate at first sight, you know? So, or maybe another possible thing is in my circle of people, I might have met the person who's going to become my soulmate, but we are yet to reach that stage. But soulmates are something different. Additionally, having disappointing experiences may make you defensive and prone to not believe in people. And this is especially true for people who have had so many disappointments in relationships, failed romances, everything. At some point, you'll get tired of being in that position where your relationships just aren't working, and you'll stop caring to have something serious going on for a long time. Or maybe you decide to be kind of a swinger until you may meet someone who might make you reconsider not taking stuff so seriously anymore. For me personally, when I experience a disappointment, it's like it takes me a long time to recover from it, and the only way I don't take as long is if this disappointment that I'm experiencing is something that I expected to happen, something that was imminent. And to tell you the truth, that was with my last relationship. With my preceding relationship, or the one that, my first one, not the last one, but my first one, I wasn't expecting for it to fail. So it took me a good while for me to get in the mindset again and in the mood again. I was not looking. I wasn't really considering it, maybe because I hadn't met anyone who had inflicted in me the feelings of interest and that spark like I had with this person. So that takes time. Sometimes you may meet them immediately, but at least in my case, it did not happen immediately. So maybe now that times are different, it could happen to where I'm not expecting for something to go horribly wrong, but if it happens, someone incredible may just show up and hey, we just roll with it, But it helps when that's not how you think, and that's definitely not how I think. When I think about this, it's no matter what, I'm trying to repair stuff, and I just don't like to just let go for the sake of letting go, I just work on it. Wow, I really drifted there, but anyway. Also, for some people, the circumstances may align favorably as a result of mutual hobbies, habits, routines, diets, jobs, talents, classes. And yeah, so basically, if you're a person who's really outgoing, you are exposing yourself to the places where you are likely to find someone who's very similar to you and thus comprehends you better. So like, if people know that I love cars and I love driving, in an ideal world, I would have a job like working with cars or close to cars, so people who I'm working with also have the same interest, so we take it from there. And then same thing with music. In an ideal world, I would be taking music classes. I will meet people who have the same interest as me, so that will make me more likely to meet someone who can take that spot of, hey, at first glance, I see you, you're amazing, you're talented, you sound like me, or you think similarly to me. So, hey, I think if we carry this on, there's a possibility that we may be for one another. Anything can happen. So, same thing with your jobs. If you have the fortune of being somewhere that you enjoy, then you'll see this. It's like, oh wow, I'm glad that I'm here because I have met this person and now we are together. But anyways, in conclusion, like I said, seeing someone and then I'm like, wow, I'm in love with this person, or I really like this person. It's never happened to me. And thus, it's hard to believe that this is a thing. Alright, you guys, that is all that I have for you on this matter. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you understood my points and that I make it clear. I'm not shooting down the concept of, can I fix that? Nah, that made it worse anyway. For those of you who have experienced this love at first sight thing, good for you. But for those of us who haven't experienced it, now I'm obsessed with this because the lighting went crazy now. Anyway, for those of us who haven't experienced it, well, that's just the way stuff goes for us. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe someday we'll experience it, someday we won't. And just because we don't, or we may not, it doesn't mean that our lives are going to take a negative toll. You know? Alright, you guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you soon.